Hello, welcome to episode 5 of this Unrest Let's Play. I'm Jackson Tyler of abnormalmapping.com. Last time when we met, we were with Asha, and stuff happened. I don't know, like, she was surviving in the slums, and then her uncle showed up, and then suddenly he was like, "You're coming with me, and we're going back to take a revolution," and it was a little bit strange. Anyway, new story now. Last week's episode was short, or yesterday's episode was short because now we're on a new story and I wanted to start from the beginning of a new story. Here it is. You are Bhagwan, priest and father, 38 years old, 83. Bhagwan is an initiate to Bakamundi's temple, that is to say Ranvir's temple. Hailed as the voice of the poor, Ranvir is one of the most powerful and popular figures in Burma, so much so that Vijay offered him a seat at his council. With the help of J. Deep, a local militia captain, his believers provide food, medicine, and order to the parts of the city ignored by the nobles. Bhagwan has been a priest all his life, and while he has heard that serving Ranvir is a different and dangerous undertaking, all that he knows is it will feed and clothe his children. So far, that has been all he needed to know. Your initiating has begun, Bhagwan. What you say now carries from my ears to the ears of the Bakamundi. Speak from your heart, hide nothing, for you stand in the presence of something far greater than yourself. So I will swear, High Priest Ranvir. You wish for my priest, but that doesn't tell me much. Tell me, Bhagwan, what is the first duty of a priest? Serve the cause of my god and my order. So you would be a soldier in Bakamundi's army. You can always use more than them. We're fighting a war for the city's spirit, and it's far from over. But this is not the first standard you've marched under, that you are priest caste and you are not young. I mean, that's clearly the honest option, but I'd just be that. Tell me, you wish to be more than a humble priest. Maharak is vast. From a man of strength and wisdom, there is much work to be done. Yes, I would. I would take every opportunity to do the most I can. We will see. I have one final question. You know that when I stood where you stood, there was one small temple in the street full of them. Bakamundi told me this was unacceptable. She told me there was a time and a place for every message, for every course of action, that it was long past time that the principles of compassion and protection raged in these streets. I am he who heard her word and made it manifest. I know in my heart that my voice, the voice of compassion, is all that keeps the slums from boiling over. Speak honestly. If Bakamundi appeared to you and told me to kill me, would you do it? Yeah, probably. From now until Bakamundi sees otherwise, you are a servant of the city. It's time to set aside your layman's duties and begin doing real priest work. Go on, ask Daya what needs doing. I'll be watching you with interest. Okay. Now we're on the top of the city. Oh, that's the slum. That's just the slum district. Because, yeah. We know who most of these people are. Not all of them. Okay, the slums. Before today, the slums had entered your life only as dark rumours and smoke, cooking smoke from the west. You're aware that some of its denizens were farmers who deserted rioting or drought-risen farmsteads, injured veterans from the last war, and men and women who were driven out of their caste by poverty, debts, or situation. But you grasp the bigger picture is nonetheless tenuous. You've been given a vague sense that people end up there through foolishness or improper choices. Well, that's what they'd want you to believe. Teaching the Bakamundi. Do not take from another, do not harm another. Protect others from harm. Your fellow priests used to gossip about how quickly the temple of Bakamundi was gathering followers, both laymen and other members of the priest caste. But no one was prepared for the exodus of priests from your own order and others towards the temple. You'd never heard of anything like this happening in Burma's theological history before. Seemingly overnight, Ranvir's word became one of the only words in the city. Locations. The priests and priestesses talk about the slums as they would talk about a battlefield. Every so often they came back scared, shaken, or even wounded. It's hard to sleep nights at the temple. The inner rooms are always full of boxes being unpacked, JD's men coming in and off patrols to give reports, and priests and priestesses receiving their instructions. Outside the temple, the din and clamour of the slums is omnipresent. Right. Okay. I know most of those people, but not all of them. I think we can deal. that's it. Okay, cool. Speak with die and return when the task is complete. Cool. Here we are. You're initiated. Good. We'll talk things over later, but now we need someone to get outside and pass out bread in Priya's place. It has not been a good morning for her or us. Priya said she saw some Naga had snuck in by the east wall, so stay away from them. Naga don't get bread rations. Now go. Hungry crowd. Priestess Priya. Journal. Out there. Let's go. Bread. Where is Priya? She should be around his... Oh, that must be her. Those bastards, do you want to know what happened? When he's barely breathing, Prabal wanted to speak to him in the slums and people thought he was carrying on medicine. They called on him and nearly killed him. We're trying to help those people. They come at us like hungry animals. They're desperate. Well, that's good. A word to the wise bug, one, don't give anything to the children. Remember the street bangs and most of anything you give them is going to end up in the black market. Well, okay, fair. Trust me, we've tried a lot of systems, handing out only a little bit of bread to each person or having them all starved to death. Making people eat it on the spot in front of all the other hungry, desperate people, taking them away from the group to feast and watching them get targeted later on. Nothing really works, but this is a system that doesn't work. At least it feels like it should be easier than this, doesn't it? Where is Priya? There she is. There's always too many of them and they're all starving. If I don't feed some of them, they'll die, and they say terrible things. I'm sorry, I always pass out bread, and today I just couldn't do it. I understand. Let's see. Alright, let's head outside and attempt to hand out bread. Oh, it says... Okay. Well... How on earth are you meant to decide? I mean, I know Rambit's using one of us. I know that. Right. Sick man. I want to give something to Naga. They have a family right there. Cool. Ranveer. Bread's all gone. I'm just going to get something else to do. Whew. And his purpose is to make sure when half the city kills the other half, he's still around if you want your family to be around. Cool. Take care of you. Right. Well, I don't have money to pay a guard for protection at the moment, so... Priest die, let's go to them first. Only a few months ago we were carrying bread out to the slums, now I see us carrying the bread in the doors and we are mobbed in minutes. We need a new solution. Name the Ramage take this opportunity. I wonder if you'd like to talk about what happened out there. Passing out bread is one of the director's philosophical challenges priests can face. Often takes them a few times to grasp the principles of who should be served first. Oh, he knows. Oh, he knows! Okay. Ask any man from the slums what a naga is to him, he will tell you. A naga is a creature that must eat considerably more than humans to eat to survive. A naga is a creature faced with a choice. Starve and let its brute stars or snatch the bread, the coins, and even the flesh from the weaker beings around it. Ask a man from the slums what naga decide every day. Ask a man from the slums how many people he's seen robbed by nagas, murdered by nagas, or even eaten by nagas. Whenever a naga might be in its own land, a naga here is a monster. They're killing Boomer in 1,000 little ways and they're doing the worst damage in the place they can bear at least, our slums. Feeding these creatures, in particular their children, only ensures they'll be around to doom another generation. Every naga child, by its very existence, will doom 100 human children to death or starvation. I understand your argument, but heart's not convinced. Okay. I have a task for you. It's more straightforward than shooting who gets the bread and who does not, I should think. I need someone to go through the slums and distribute medicine to the sick and faithful. Prabal usually does this, but I'm afraid he's been badly injured. I need someone else to step up. I found any who seem sick. Ask them to swear by the tenants, as recorded in your notes. If they will, give them medicine. If not, use your judgment. We have a limited number to save, and we owe it to the city to ensure they are righteous. I hate everything about this. This is I can't do it. We've gone through most of our bread and medicine today. If we're going to have enough for a similar display next week, we're going to need to place orders this evening. For that, we're going to need funds. Never going to have the funds before, have you? Getting money is never easy, but I've heard that a few potential donors have recently rented the city. Mandeep, a doctor, and Dar, a merchant, have both come home for a few days. We've received money from them in the past. Today, I think, will be no exception. Here are their addresses. Please get what you can in return. Let's head out to the slums. There he is. About time, I suppose. Come in. Can I offer you anything to drink? Okay. Yes. Imagine you're hungry. Most people are these days. Even Ranveer, I've heard, subsists on little more than bread and water. This is a very humble man. Not humble enough to let my money alone. Oh well, I suppose it's just one person I've got to pay to do business. Certainly appreciate it. As long as your master does the appreciating, I suppose I'm getting what I paid for. Cool. What do we do now? Why is it easy to take money? Yeah. Let's walk back. Well, I guess I spent some of the money on protecting my own family. I did it. This is going to end up with me dead. I've been making such terrible decisions. Right. The job didn't have right and wrong answers. Remember, I understand that. He didn't need to get everything right the first time. He just needed to watch, listen, and learn. What do I do now? Oh, I can go see Dar next, sorry. That seems like a thing that'll happen and be fine. What do people have against the Naga? I don't have anything against them. You realise how lucrative trade with the Naga is for us? Half the decent food that comes into the city is through the connection with the Empire. I mean, I don't like the creepy bastards who does, but having a Naga councillor has been the best thing for Burma in a long time. Disagree. You tell Rambo the next time you see him, coming from a man of wealth and intelligence, the Naga are more useful to us than 100 star. Hey! Where is Dar? He's got to be one of these people. That's JD, the shopkeeper, merchant, meal tender. In a house? There he is. Now I open the door and finish when it sees you. Cool. Why would you want to be around this friend? Okay, well I guess I've got more money. But I spent some of it on protecting my family. Because ultimately, whew, this game. You know there's no sin in surviving. It is an honest and noble goal to end the day with as much as you began with, and I would not ask more than anyone. When the strain grows too great, all simple men must have something to look to for direction. Someday, I don't know when the hunger and death and fear in the slums will grow to be too much for the human hearts to bear, what will come that will be more terrible than either you and I can imagine. It will consume caste, it will consume moral principles. Suddenly survival will be hard enough and not enough all at once. I have made this temple for one reason, to be the hand that guides when all else has failed. Say nothing, I guess. Remember's words of praise will comfort them, and your family will eat for as long as Remember is able to feed them. Perhaps you've done all you can for them. What else matters? Well, that's that. I'm Asher again, okay. Avinash led Asher to a rundown hideout somewhere in the city. It soon became clear that Avinash wasn't just planning an insurgency. No, the insurgency was already in progress, and people from all parts of the city had flocked to its loyalist banner. He was evidently proud of what he created, but he wouldn't explain to Asher what role she was to play in the coming days, nor would he answer many of her questions. Let's go through the stuff. Let's do Derelict Mansion. Adaptable, cool. I think it's frozen. I'm fairly sure the game just froze. I got an error. I don't know if you can see the error, but there's an error come up on my screen that says Microsoft Visual C++ Runtime Library. The application has requested the runtime terminated in an unusual way. So, I guess we're done. These Unrest episodes works better shorter because they're short things. I haven't talked that much about theme in the Let's Play, which is a problem because it's just been on all the time. But it's a game about the, the conflict between self-interest and principle, and this difficult world in which all your choices are bad. It's essentially a survival simulator that doesn't run on ideas of mechanical, numerical values. It's not about differing meters that you have to keep in balance. It's about balancing people. It's about balancing ideas and the values of other people around you in a world where everyone has to care for themselves. It's rough. It's a rough game. But yes, thank you very much for watching. Maybe the next episode will be longer. I don't know. But thank you. And goodbye. We'll see if the game fixes itself. Good day.